Good evening. My name is Rich D'Alessandro. Let me welcome you to our Winter Sports Meet the Coaches video presentation. During the next 20 to 30 minutes, we will go over all the important details for winter sports participation at Carusi, as well as meet all of the coaches and hear specifics about each sport. We offer 5 sports during the winter months at Carusi. We have 2 boys basketball teams, an A team coached by our alumna, Mr. Amir Madre, and the B team coached by yours truly, Rich D'Alessandro. We have a girls basketball program with 2 teams, an A team coached by Mrs. Bridget Schaefer, and a B team coached by Miss Giselle Ramos Rivera. Our wrestling program is headed up by Coach Tom DePatry with support from Coach Ansert and Coach Lamp. Our cheerleading squad is under the direction of Ms. Shyla Rakowski, and our bowling coach is Mr. George Hanna. All the email addresses are here for contacting coaches with specific sports questions. Some general dates about our winter season. On Monday, November 6th, basketball tryouts and wrestling tryouts will begin. Specific dates for each basketball team will be announced later on in the video. Our cheer program will begin tryouts on Monday, November 13th. Bowling begins in the month of December. Remember, there is no sports on days when Carusi School is not in session. A reminder that all students must complete a physical each year and drop it off in a hard copy form at the nurse's office prior to tryouts. There are also other medical checkoffs that must be completed on the Genesis portal. You can find all that information at chclc.org, domain 151. Also, the activity fee must be paid prior to the start of the sport. This can be done using the Pay School lunch money program. Some winter facts. Our practices start at 3:15 and end at 4:30 or 5 p.m. and run Monday through Friday. Games start at 3:45 or 5 p.m. if they're the second game of a basketball doubleheader, and we have a few special night games versus our Cherry Hill rivals throughout the winter months. All sports have tryouts and caps on numbers of participants. We have a partnership with Sports Paradise where we'll offer online gear stores for all our team. Coaches will supply the link for team members, and it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for the gear to arrive. Some more winter facts. Our game schedules can be found on the Carusi main page under the calendar for athletics. Bowling is held each Wednesday that school is in session from December 13th to February 21st, and it's held at the big event on Kings Highway in Cherry Hill. The cheer season concludes with our annual cheer competition here at Carusi on Saturday, February 10th. Players must have sneakers and participate in physical education class during the day to participate in Carusi sports after school. Players must arrive at school no later than 11:30 a.m. to participate in sports that day. Transportation information. We have late buses that depart Carusi every day at 4:30 to assist parents with transportation, although many games and practices run beyond this time. We have a regular team bus to and from away games. Players must take the team bus to away events. Players may go home with their parents after the away game if they have completed a waiver with the coach. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Please stay tuned for our sports-specific presentations on basketball, cheer, wrestling, and bowling. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Meet the Coaches Night. My name is George Hanna and I am the Carusi bowling coach. This school year, we will be bowling on Wednesdays. We will bowl 10 consecutive Wednesdays starting on December 13th, followed by December 20th, January 3rd, January 10th, January 17th, January 24th, January 31st, February 7th, February 14th, and our season will end on February 21st. We will bowl at the big event located at 1536 North Kings Highway. On the Wednesdays that we have bowling, we will meet at the end of the school day as a group so that I can take attendance. After I complete attendance, we will take the bus as a team to the big event to bowl until 5 p.m. A parent or guardian is required to pick their child up at the big event at 5 p.m. There will be no bus back to Carusi. There are no tryouts for bowling. Students who are fully registered with paid athletic fees, nurse update forms, and physicals submitted to the nurse will be placed on the team first. Once we have hit capacity, we will no longer be able to accept student athletes. The big event will provide bowling shoes and a bowling ball for each bowler. Students are permitted to bring their own bowling shoes and bowling ball should they have them. Having your own bowling ball and bowling shoes is not required. Please direct any physical form or health questions to Nurse Thomas. Please direct any bowling questions to me by email, ghanna@chclc.org. Also check Google Classroom for the most up-to-date information. Once your child is registered in Genesis, I will add them to the Bowling Google Classroom. Thank you and have a great night.
Hello, I'm Coach Art.
And I'm Coach Kohler.
And we are going to introduce things about cheer. So our cheer tryouts will start on Monday, November 13th, and they will last until Thursday, November 16th, and they go from 3 to 4:25. And our students will report right to the media center for every single day.
If your child cheers or dances competitively outside of school, please send them with a copy of their competition schedule to tryouts. It will absolutely not affect their placement on the team. Rather, it will help us to minimize conflicts when we're selecting the competitions that we attend.
So at tryouts on Monday and Tuesday, you'll be learning a short routine and jumps, and then we will be working with some stunting. We will then assign the student either Wednesday or Thursday, and they will be able to try out. We'll have tryouts in about 1 to 3 groups of children, and then once they complete their tryouts, they'll be able to leave the school.
Students must have a physical, and all associated paperwork must be in to the nurse to be eligible to try out. Please get their paperwork in ASAP if it's not already in. Physical forms can be found on the nurse's website and in the nurse's office. You must also complete all of the forms on Genesis, including the health history update. Please have your child check the list on our Cheer Google Classroom to see if they are cleared to try out.
Our teams will be posted in Google Classroom by the end of day Thursday, and we will begin practice on that Friday, November 17th.
25 athletes will be chosen for the team, along with 1 to 3 alternates. Alternates will participate in sideline cheer, and they must also attend all competition practices and be available for all performances.
Every practice will go until 4:25. There will be a late bus available for kids to take home. If you are not taking the late bus, please be at the school waiting for your child to pick them up. If you have any issues or any problems attending practice, please let Coach Kohler or me know as soon as possible.
Not attending a practice or leaving early impacts the whole team and is absolutely unacceptable. Having any unexcused absences and or excessive excused absences could result in removal from the competition squad and or dismissal from the team.
This year, we'll be traveling to TNT about once a week for our choreography. These dates will be posted on the schedule once your child makes the team. We will then receive, they will receive that at the first practice, and choreo days will need a ride picked up from TNT at 4:25.
So there is a bus that will take us from Carusi to TNT. But again, you will need to pick your child up from TNT at 4:25, and those dates will be listed on our schedule. We cheer for basketball, and cheerleaders must be at their assigned games. And we will be hosting our annual competition on Saturday, February 10th. We will also be attending at least one, possibly more competitions, and those dates will be announced after we select a team.
Attendance to all competition and performances is mandatory. If you have a conflict, please let one of us know as soon as possible. Not attending a performance impacts our entire team and it's unacceptable. Missing a competition or performance can result in removal from the competition squad or dismissed from the team.
Cheerleading is dangerous. Please understand that there is a risk of injury involved with being part of a cheer team.
We'll be ordering bodysuits for our kids to wear underneath their uniforms, bodysuits and briefs. This Google form is listed in our Google Classroom. Every single cheerleader must purchase one. No money will be turned in, however, until your child makes the team. That'll be due the first day of practice, which is November 17th.
Good luck and go Mustangs!
Yay!
Good evening. My name is Bridget Schaefer, and I am the head girls basketball coach at Carusi Middle School. This will be my 8th season with the Mustangs. This year, I will be joined by Miss Giselle Ramos Rivera, as she will be the B team coach. I would also like to encourage you to visit the Carusi Athletics website, which can be accessed from the Carusi homepage. You can find the links there to the Genesis registration, which I'm going to reference in a few minutes. Girls basketball tryouts will begin November 8th, 2023. There'll be 3 tryout dates, as you can see here. Athletes should strive to attend all days if possible. You will not be penalized for not attending, but attending will ensure the best view of each athlete's skills. In order to try out, you must be registered in the Genesis portal. Athletes should plan to participate in basketball at Carusi Monday through Friday weekly. Middle school games should take precedence over other games and practices. We will have 2 evenings where we have night games, which should also be a priority. We will be offering team clothing, which is optional via Sports Paradise website. Once your child is registered in Genesis, they will be invited to the basketball Google Classroom. All tryout information will be posted there, and student athletes will be able to see their status for their physicals. All athletes must have a current physical in order to try out. All students must also pay or be cleared for the activity fee in order to play on the team. This is a Cherry Hill Public Schools district policy. In tryouts, we'll be looking for well-rounded players who are eager to play on either team in any capacity, as we have 2 teams, an A team and a B team. We'll be looking for well-rounded players who are eager to play on either team in any capacity. 2 teams, an A team and a B team, and each can have 12 players. Sportsmanship, effort, skill, athletic ability, coachability, and school performance will be the main points of evaluation. Our athletes are student athletes, student first. We do have late buses here at Carusi. They depart at 4:30. We'll have many practices that end at 5, and all games will go past that time. So students must have their own transportation during the season. When we have away games, all students must ride the bus from Carusi to the away game location. If you have questions regarding your child's physical or health, you can email our school nurse, Miss Thomas. Thank you.
Hi again, this is Rich D'Alessandro back to talk about our boys basketball season. I am happy to be joined by Amir Madred, who will be a long-term sub in our building and will be taking over as head basketball coach. Amir can be reached at the Gmail address here. He will be taking over the A team, and I will be coaching the B team. Amir has a wealth of background as a basketball player. He played at Carusi. He played at Camden High. He played college basketball. He played basketball overseas. So he brings a lot of experience that I am sure the boys will benefit from. Our tryouts will be November 6th, November 7th, and November 14th. All tryouts are 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the Carusi Gymnasium. We encourage the players to attend all the tryouts. Any changes, makeups will be announced via school announcements and the tryout Google Classroom. When you sign your child up for the team on Genesis, which I'll discuss in a moment, they'll be given an invitation to join a Google Classroom, and that's where all additional information can be found. Our team composition, we have an A team and a B team. Each one will have 12 players, and we will have our first practice on Thursday, November 16th. Some important details. All students who are trying out must have completed a permission form on Genesis. There are other medical checkoffs that a parent must complete on the Genesis parent portal as well. And they must have a current physical on paper given to our nurse. You must have a physical. There's no tryouts without a physical and without being cleared. The coaches are looking for well-rounded players who are eager to play several positions, show good sportsmanship, promptness, effort, and basketball ability and coachability. And a reminder that Carusi Middle School games take precedent over AAU or travel games. Communication with the coaches is very important in this regard. We try to set up our schedules so that players can be on other teams. And if there are conflicts, we need communication to work them out so that it is fair for everyone. More details. Our season runs Mondays through Fridays from November 6th through late January. Since we only have one gym, the boys' teams alternate with the girls' teams for practice. There's no basketball on weekends, half days, except once during conference days or when school is closed. And per our Cherry Hill School District policy, no 8th graders can be placed on the B team. 6th, 7th, and 8th graders can be on the A team, but only 6th and 7th graders can be on the B team. Sneakers and athletic clothing are required for tryouts and all other basketball activities. Once the teams are picked, a Google Classroom just for the teams will be established. Transportation information. We do have late bus that leave Carusi every day at 4:30, but most basketball activities run until 5 o'clock. So setting up transportation and carpools is very, very important for players on the team. All players must take the regular team bus to away games. We always have a bus that takes us to the away games. Parents may sign a waiver to allow a player to go home with them after away games. If you have any specific questions about the basketball team, you can email Coach Madrid or you can email me, Rich Delisandro. Thank you very much.
All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Meet the Coaches evening. My name is Coach DePatri, the head coach of the Carusi wrestling team. And as you see there, Carusi wrestling is a tradition of excellence. Carusi has had many successful seasons, both under my coaching and previous coaches. We always place in the top in the South Jersey Wrestling League. And this has been going on for decades, even from the time when I wrestled at Carusi in the mid 1980s. And this is the most important thing, right? Our mission statement. We want to provide middle school students with basic skills, but more importantly, a joy of wrestling. Wrestling can be a very difficult sport and a very challenging sport. We want to make it fun. We want guys to love it and girls to love it and folks to love it because, again, if not, wrestling can be a tough sport because of the idea that you're taking another human being and controlling their body and putting them on their back. So we want to make sure that there's fun in there. And by the time they leave middle school, they'll have some really good basic skills. And if they're advanced wrestlers already, we'll make sure that they get some advanced skills. All right. We have 3 coaches returning this year. First of all, we have Coach Ansert, who's been with Carusi Wrestling the longest. He's been coaching there 15 years. Coach Lamp has been coaching Carusi Wrestling for about 11 or 12 years, that is. And this is my 3rd year as a Carusi head coach. I was also head coach of Cherry Hill High School West, and also as an assistant coach with many schools over previous years. Additionally, we have all 3 coaches coach in the district. Also this year, we'll be having an additional volunteer assistant joining us, and we'll give more information about him later. Here are very important dates. We do preseason conditioning practices starting November 1st. They're going to be 1st, 2nd, 3rd from 3 to 4:30. So the students come after school. We're not going to be on the wrestling mats. We're just going to be practicing, getting them ready physically for that. It's an important couple of days, though, because we really want to make sure we get everyone together. Regular practices start very early. They're November 6th, and they're going to be Monday through Friday, 3 to 5:30 p.m., right? We go after late buses. We stay till 5:30 because we want to get as much wrestling in as we can. Oftentimes it takes 15 minutes to set up mats, 15 minutes to take them down. So that's why we need that extra time. Equipment needed. All right. So first of all, your child is going to need a mouth guard if they have braces. They'll need running shoes, headgear, wrestling shoes, and a filled water bottle every day. This is for matches and also for practices. All right, this is other important information. First of all, wrestlers have to have an updated physical, and the parents must take care of the activity fee. All this is online. You can go to Genesis and get information about that, or call the school and ask them. We can't let them on the mat unless they're cleared by the nurse in the main office. Every day we get an updated list, and it says whether the child can wrestle and participate or not. So it's very important because we want to get them on the mat and doing the things we need to make them successful as soon as possible. One important thing that wrestling, it's a very different sport than other sports. Our varsity team has 15 wrestlers. Each of those wrestlers represents a specific weight class. So there's 15 weight classes. And each varsity spot is decided by a wrestle-off, which means anybody who wants to wrestle off for a spot, imagine it's 115 pounds. There's 4 kids. They say they want to be the varsity wrestler. We wrestle them off individually, and then we figure out who the best kid is at that weight class. They get the spot. During team matches, there's a team varsity score. So like last year, Carusi was 11-2. And that's the varsity match score. So there's team score, even though there's individual matches. We do have an exhibition team. And the exhibition team, there are non-varsity wrestlers. And depending on the team we're wrestling, they may or may not get a match. Some schools don't have a lot of wrestlers. Some have a lot of wrestlers. So sometimes a kid could get 3 or 4 matches in a night, where other times they won't get any for a couple weeks. So just be clear of that, because sometimes parents ask, well, why hasn't my son wrestled? And generally it's because the other schools don't have anyone around their weight or skill level. And again, on behalf of the wrestling coaches, I want to thank you. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always contact me or Coach Lamp, who is at Carusi, actually teaches there. My email is tdipatrijr@chclc.org. Thank you so much, and thank you for allowing your kids to join us.